talking about the visa bulletin and what this means for everybody watching. Very exciting news. I know there are a lot of people with a lot of questions. So Chris, I'll hand over to you.
Right. So there's two things to think about. First is if you are in the United States, you are likely eligible for adjustment of status starting October 1st. You do have to have your I-140 filed. So it's not enough if the employer has just begun the recruiting process, the notice process, or the prevailing wage process. But if your I-140 is filed, then you are likely eligible to file your I-45 starting October 1st. Amongst other things, you do need to get a medical examination done. And it's a very comprehensive process, the I-485, and so we would, there's no rush. You don't need to file it on October 1st. I know people always get nervous, but what if the dates retrogress on October 10th or 20th? That is not going to happen. It is going to be current in October. It is going to be current in November. It's going to be current in December. It's going to stay current for quite a while, I think. There's quite a few numbers out there, quite a large allotment of numbers out there. Now, if you're overseas, you should work through the NVC process. You should get your appointment scheduled in Manila. A couple of key points there about that. Number one, you do need your visa screen. So if you don't have your visa screen, there's no point making your appointment in Manila because you will be turned down. So get your visa screen and then schedule your appointment in Manila. Number two, the Manila Embassy has, over the last 9 months or so, issued an enormous amount of administrative processing delays, including 221Gs. We are guardedly optimistic that that problem is being cured, and over the last 2 weeks, we have, at our office, I think Tanya has a number of these nurses as well, we start to see these appointments come back online. We've seen cases that had been put into administrative process get reopened at Manila, so that's good news as well. But I have to tell everybody, there's an enormous backlog of cases because Manila has not effectively processed many immigrant visas in about 9 months. And so even though you're current October 1st, it would not surprise me if you don't get your visa appointment for months. There's an enormous backlog of cases, and they have reduced capacity because of things like COVID. Having said that, just work through the process and don't focus on the anxiety of, am I getting my appointment tomorrow? Am I getting my appointment tomorrow? You cannot control that. The thing that you can control is working through the process, either through the NVC or directly with the embassy. And so all of your employers, I'm sure, are waking up to all this news as well. We all sort of expected it to happen, but it was certainly nice to see. Some of us, in fact, myself, I was even a little more cautious. I thought maybe it would only advance a few months, even though I know the numbers were there. And if you see some of the prior videos, you can hear some of my thought press on that. But nonetheless, great news for everybody. We should be able to move through these cases now. And but just the time delays are going to be there. It's going to take the embassy a while to schedule all these appointments because there are thousands of nurses in the Philippines who, starting October 1st, are now going to be current, and were not current to that yesterday. So good news for everybody. This is good news.
Good news. We want to celebrate the good news. Thank you for Chris. I think that gives everybody a lot of clarification.